Hi everyone, let's get started. It is freezing inside my house right now, so that's why I'm wearing my robe. So I'm going to start with this moisturizer. It's a day and night moisturizer, the Anew moisturizer, and I love it. This is obviously the day one. Next I'm going to use the Badescu facial spray. This is one of my favorites. It just smells so nice and makes you feel so refreshed and hydrated. My dog decided to hop up in my lap and I wanted to show him to the camera. His name is Blackjack. He's adorable. Anyway, so the next thing that I'm going to do is prime my face with the Benefit Porefessional. I love this stuff. It fills in my pores and makes my face look super smooth. So I'm just going to rub that into my face, especially in my T-zone and my nose, which is where my pores are the largest. Now I'm going to prime my eyelids with the MAC Soft Ochre Paint Pot. I love this stuff for keeping my eyeshadow in place all day. It's not sticky, not gooey at all. You just rub your finger in it and put it on your eyeball and you are good to go. So since I want there to be a sharp line in my eyeshadow when I'm done, I am going to use Scotch tape and just put it on the skin right underneath my eyes where I want that sharp line to be, and then when I'm done with my eyeshadow, I will just go ahead and peel it off. So you can probably tell from the title that I'm going to be using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Modern Renaissance palette. This is the perfect palette for fall. The first shade I'm going in with is Warm Taupe. This is a wonderful transition shade for fair girls especially, and the brush that I'm using is the Morphe E27 brush. This is a fat brush for the eyes, and so it's perfect for transition shades when you want to get that really, really nice soft blended look. Next I'm going in with Red Ochre from the palette, and for this I am using the Morphe M433 brush, and I'm just putting this all over my crease, just plopping it down in there, blending it out all the way so that it goes onto the tape, because remember we want to have that sharp line, and I'm bringing it barely to my inner corner, so I want to get this all in the crease, but especially focus it on the outer corner so that you can have that nice cat eye V shape. So the first thing I want to do when applying this red eyeshadow is focus it in the outer V of my eye, and you'll kind of see that V shape that I'm doing right here. And then I bring it in closer to my inner corner all throughout the crease and just blend using those windshield wiper motions on the crease and then circular motions on the outer corner. Since this is such a vibrant color and this palette has a lot of pigment, you're going to want to make sure to blend. The next color I'm going in with from the palette is Cypress Umber, or I think that's how you say it, but I'm just using the Morphe E22 brush. This is a fluffy brush that tapers in the middle. It's really nice for getting into that outer corner and just making sure it's all smooth and blended, because again, with these very vibrant colors, you want it to look blended. And now I'm taking that same shade with the Morphe M508, which is a buffer brush, and putting that almost on like eyeliner from my inner corner all the way out to where the red eyeshadow stops. So we kind of want it to look like a wing. And then I'm picking up Get Lucky by Colourpop. As you can tell, that is one of my favorite shades because it is shattered. And I'm just using my finger to apply this to get the most pigment possible, putting this all over my lid and then blending it into that red and brown color. This shade is beautiful, it is metallic, it is so creamy, so pigmented, and it just looks like liquid yellow gold on your eyes. I am obsessed. That's why the eyeshadow is shattered, because I use it so much. So going back to the Modern Renaissance palette now, I'm going in with the shade Realgar. It is a beautiful orange, burnt orange shade, and I'm just using this to kind of blend the yellowy gold color with the red color to make it look like more of an ombre effect so that it's not just like yellow and then red. You know what I mean? And I'm just using the same Morphe M433 brush. It already has the red on it, and I'm just picking up the orange and blending it right in. And I think that using the same brush actually helps in this situation. And then to highlight the inner corners of my eyes, I am picking up Vermeer on a Morphe E18 brush. It's just a pencil brush. It's the perfect shape for the inner corner. It just fits it so nicely. And then I'm going to peel the tape off to reveal that nice sharp cut line. So next I'm going to take my Tarte Amazonian Clay Foundation in the shade Fairly Light Beige and just apply it all over my face with a Real Techniques beauty sponge. I love this foundation because it's super full coverage, but it doesn't feel like you're wearing anything. And I have freckles on my face and a lot of redness, so I really, really love the coverage that this foundation gives. It is also a matte finish, which I really like because personally I have a lot of trouble spots on my face, and dewy foundations can sometimes highlight those areas on my face. I do have dry skin, but I do prefer the matte finish as opposed to the dewy or glowy. So I'm just bouncing the beauty sponge all over my face to blend the foundation in. Make sure you don't miss your hairline because you don't want to have a line where your hairline is. I also try and bring the foundation down my neck a little bit so that there's not a line on my jaw where the foundation ends and my skin begins. Nobody wants that look. Now I'm taking my favorite concealer. This is the Urban Decay Naked Weightless Concealer. This is in the shade Fair Neutral. This concealer offers so much coverage, but it's not cakey at all. That's why I love it so much. So I just put it in the areas of my face where I want to highlight, like underneath my eyes, on my nose, on my forehead, and on my chin. Sometimes I also put it around the sides of my nose and around the sides of my mouth, but I did not do that today. And again, I'm just using the Real Techniques sponge to bounce this on my face and blend it all in and get a flawless finish. And then to set my face, I'm going to use my favorite translucent powder of all time. It is the Laura Mercier translucent powder, and I'm using a Morphe E3 brush to apply this all over my face. I love using this brush to apply powder to my face because it packs it in really nicely, but it also blends it out really nicely too. And it's just really soft, you know, like luxurious and relaxing when you brush it on your face. And the Laura Mercier translucent powder is my favorite translucent powder because it truly does not lighten my face at all. It is no color, but it sets the makeup so nicely. Next to contour and highlight, I'm going to be using the Kat Von D Shade and Light palette. I'm taking these two colors right here on a Morphe M438 brush to set my under eye concealer and just bring some brightness back to my under eye. And then to contour my face, I'm going to be using a Mikasa Beauty oval brush. It's from their Oval Technique 4-brush set. I actually really, really love these brushes. They blend so nicely and they don't eat away at your product, so I love them. Right now I'm just putting these, just kind of like slapping them on in the areas where I want to have some darkness in my face, and then I'm gonna take the brush again and just blend, 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 blend. Never stop blending. So I just put this on my cheeks, right underneath my cheekbones, and then around my hairline on my forehead, because I do have a rather large forehead, so I like to bronze that up just a little bit to make it look smaller. And I also don't have super defined cheekbones, so that's why I like to put a lot of the contour shade where there would be a shadow if I did have a larger cheekbone, just to make it look more defined and make my face look more slim, because who doesn't want that, right? So again, just blending this back and forth to make it look flawless and like you can't even tell it's there. And then I do like to put a little bit more darkness towards my hairline because that is where the most shadow would be if I did have larger cheekbones. And then with the same brush, I'm going to take the same shade from the Kat Von D Shade and Light palette and put it on my jawline just to make my jawline look very defined. And now with another brush from Mikasa Beauty, and this one is a bit skinnier actually, I am going to use it to contour my nose. So I just like to bring a straight line right down the center of my nose and leave just a very thin strip of light in the middle to make my nose look really skinny. And I don't technically need to contour my nose because I do have a rather thin nose already, but I just prefer the way it looks and it brings some warmth to the middle of my face. So then I'm going in with Champagne Pop from the Champagne Glow palette from Becca Cosmetics and Jaclyn Hill. This is one of my ride or die holy grail favorite highlighters of all time. And I'm using this on a Morphe M501 brush and just putting this on the tops of my cheeks, right above my eyebrows, in the center of my nose, and then on my chin, as well as my Cupid's bow. These are all of the places that I want to look dewy and nice and glowy. And then onto brows. I'm going to be using the Micro Brow Pencil from NYX. This is also another Holy Grail Ride or Die product. I actually like this a lot more than the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Wiz. I just think that it applies easier and smoother, and it comes out a lot cleaner than the Anastasia Beverly Hills one does. And I love the Brow Wiz from Anastasia, but I do prefer the NYX one more. So my shade is Taupe with the Micro Brow Pencil, and so I'm just lining the top of my brow and then the bottom of my brow and then filling it in. I like to start at the middle of my brow, work to the end of my tail, and then I like to softly fill in the first half of my brow. And I do like a more square shape at the front of my brows. How many times am I going to say brows? But I like the ombre kind of gradient also. So then I'm just going to use my finger to rub it in and blend the inner corners of my brows, and then I'm done. So then to prep my lashes for falsies, I'm just going to put on some mascara. This is the Maybelline Great Lash, and for falsies I'm using the Lily lashes in the style Mykonos. So I just put some House of Lashes lash glue on these, and then with a pair of tweezers that I've had forever, I'm just going to put these on my eyelashes as close to the lash line as possible, and then using my fingers just perfecting it. This style of lash is honestly the favorite pair that I currently own. They're just so wispy and beautiful and long, but not too dramatic. I'm just obsessed! So then going back to the Modern Renaissance palette, I'm going to take Red Ochre and Cypress Umber again and put them on my lower lash line using the Morphe M508 again. I personally like to have eyeshadow on my lower lash line. It's okay if you don't, but I think it makes it look more smoky. So then I'm going to put some mascara on my lower lashes. This is an absolute must for me. I just think it makes my eyes look so much more open. And then for blush, I'm going to be using the Milani Cosmetics blush in the shade Luminoso. This blush is beautiful. It's a gorgeous peach shade, but it also has some slight gold shimmer in it. I just think it's gorgeous. And if you don't like to wear highlighter, but you still like to look a little bit shiny and glowy, this is perfect for you. And I really thought that it matched this look very well. To apply this blush, I'm using the Morphe E4 brush. This is my favorite brush for putting on blush. Man, that's a mouthful. But I'm just putting it on the apples of my cheeks and bringing it back towards my cheekbones. So now to line my lips, I'm going to be using this Colourpop lippy pencil in the shade Grunge. The Colourpop lippy pencils are honestly one of my favorite formulas for lip liners. They just glide on so smoothly and so effortlessly. And this color, Grunge, is a beautiful color that matches perfectly with the dark red matte liquid lipstick that I'm going to use. So I'm going to take the Jeffree Star Cosmetics liquid lip in the shade Unicorn Blood. His formula is one of my favorites of all time. I just think it's super matte and super comfortable to wear, and it doesn't highlight the lines that I have in my lips, and it doesn't make them look dry. And the color is just on point. It is the perfect deep red. And with that, this look is complete. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please subscribe and let me know in the comments what you would like to see next. Bye!
Let's go!